I remember that the next morning I changed the sheets because it was stained. So now,
let's just call today's episode Revelation, because there were a lot of revelations that happened today. And that's why I'm holding my microphone like this. You guys remember my former microphone. Anytime I have something, like when there's interesting gist, when there's hot gist, or anything that has to do with knacking, this is how I hold my microphone, so that, all the details will be out there in full. All the details will be out there in full, and I don't have to shout. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, turn on your post notifications. Apparently, some people have not been getting notifications from my videos. Turn on your post notifications, hit the notification bell so that you can get notified each time I post a brand new video, so that you don't miss out on all the gist. Today was very funny because it was almost as if two people are dragging who knocked who. When did it become a thing of like somebody dragging who knocked who or who did not knock who? You guys know the meaning of knock, right? So I'm just going to put it on the screen. I don't want to say it because of censorship and all that. So they were dragging who knocked who between Katrina and Praise. Katrina was like, she is the one that knocked him. She took him to her bed and she was the one that knocked him. And then Praise Praise also said he was the one that knocked her.
I told Wathoni that I house.
That you who's there?
No, I don't want.
Your bed though.
Man, today was like hot. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. They started with the Dorathy, Wathoni and Brighto triangle. In fact, that was the main thing for today. And before they now started talking about Katrina and Praise. So Dorathy finally admitted to giving Brighto a BJ. Like she said it. She accepted it with her full chest.
That happened.
What happened?
Okay. What she said happened.
Okay.
I gave him a.
I was actually shocked to hear her say it by herself. Like, okay, I did this. So, what happened? First of all, I don't exactly know why Wathoni really had to bring up the issue, because you can give gist without giving all the details of what happened, like having to go that far, like saying that this particular thing happened, because I'm very sure that Dorathy would have not brought it up, neither would Brighto have brought it up if Wathoni didn't bring it up. So let's just clear that one first. So they asked Wathoni what she was doing with Bright. According to her, she said she wanted to have a companion in the house, that she wanted somebody else, a go-to person in the house. So she didn't just want it to be Tricky. So she just felt like, okay, Brighto was the person that could be her go-to person.
To me, I felt like I was using him to be happy. And that was enough for me, yes.
So were you using him or did you like him? That's what I want to know.
It was both.
Then Tricky, Tricky kind of explained the situation that to him, Wathoni really, really liked Brighto, because that time anything Brighto says, Wathoni will laugh. And then Lekon also confirmed it. Today was the first time I heard Lekon actually talk. So let me hold this thing well. So Tricky was saying that any small thing, and you guys watch the show, if you didn't watch the show, if you didn't watch all these parts, is actually what Tricky was saying was actually true. Like if Brighto just says, in fact, once Brighto looks up, Wathoni will laugh.
I know Wathoni, even if Bright just cough, she will laugh.
She was onto him aggressively. Let me just put it that way. It was now a case of like, okay, I know that somebody else likes this guy and he's the only guy left. let me make sure that I secure this guy. So I think that was the situation in the house. According to her before, she said she was catching cruise. And then today she also said that for her, Brighto was just somebody that she wanted to use as her go-to person. So according to her, she said she was using him. She was just using him to catch fun. That, she admits to the fact that any small thing that he says, that she laughs about it, but that's part of the things that she wanted. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be happy. She wanted someone to make her happy in the house, and he was the one that was doing that. So that's why, she said that she was using him for that. She now explained the situation with Dorathy and Brighto. So apparently, Dorathy went to meet Wathoni. I remember that talk, and I actually really, really think that Dorathy did good to go talk to her. Like, okay, I know you like this guy. I also like this guy. What's up? Like, what is it that we are doing here? What is it that you want? What is it that we should do at this point? Do you really, really like him, or it's just so they had a conversation, and in that conversation, I can't really remember all the details, but I know that in conversation, the conclusion was that Dorathy was going to stay on Brighto's bed that night. I don't know if, I think there was even a time frame, like she would go and stay for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I don't remember, but the conclusion was that Dorathy was going to go first and go and see, because Brighto told Wathoni that she should come to his bed. Also told Dorathy that, okay, he was going to stay on her bed. Brighto was actually very, very like this, even though he's trying to sound like, oh, he was just trying to please both of them, which in my opinion, I don't think it makes sense to, if this is the person that you want, just make it clear. Do you understand? Like, you can't please everybody. You can't be trying to please this person, telling this person nice things because this person is coming on to you, and then you still tell this person nice things because this person is coming on to you. Like, that's the part where I think he shouldn't have done that, even though according to him, he felt like he didn't want to hurt anybody. But like, he even trying to be with both of them or trying to do what he wanted to do with both of them is still hurting somebody. So in his defense, he said he didn't want to hurt anybody, but at the same time, that's the way to hurt people. So that night, Dorathy now went to Brighto's bed, and apparently things happened. I was saying it since that there are so many things that cameraman was not showing us. He did not try at all. But on the other hand, I feel like, okay, that's cool, because maybe he was trying to censor a lot of things. But Dorathy admitted to giving Brighto a BJ when she was on his bed, and after that she left and went to her bed, that she didn't even stay there for a long time. And she also said they didn't have any conversation, so it was just like, that just happened. The next day, the reason Wathoni brought up this issue was she was saying that she changed the sheets, and she saw stains. She's the one that changed the bed sheets. Why was she even the one that changed the bed sheets? Okay, I think that was her work in the house. They had different jobs, so she changed the bed sheets and she saw stains on the bed. So she just highlighted the fact that she saw stains, and she feels she doesn't know what exactly happened. She doesn't know if they left the bed, if after they did what they did on the bed, they went to the bathroom or did anything. Then but for her, this is what she felt, that she gave him like a BJ. And I think it was Brighto that told her.
I don't know if they went to the toilet. I don't know if somebody asked someone they should go ahead and do something in another place in the house. I don't know. But all I know is I know what Bright said, and I saw evidence. So
Dorathy now said, okay, when the batting, Ebuka now passed the batting. Ebuka, this night. If I throw this reunion, Ebuka too has been looking at it like, when did all this happen? There are some things he will just hear, and like his exclamations have just been like really, really funny, because he's coming across like he's also like shocked by the things that he's hearing. You guys, this is the real show. We did not really watch anything, because this is where we are really hearing a lot of things that happen, and I think a lot more will still be revealed with the way things are going. There are still things that we have not finished hearing. As in, okay, let me just continue. So Dorathy, that's when Dorathy now said, okay, yes, this is what you've been trying to say since. This is what happened. I actually gave him a BJ. And then, but it was just that. They didn't have any conversation. So it was just like, that happened. And then what really hurt her, according to Dorathy, what really hurt her was that the next morning, this person did not really say anything to her. That's Brighto. Just passed her like, nothing, you get.
And the next morning, after him being bright, he literally walked past me.
She now called him cold, that she feels like he's very cold, that sometimes he maybe as cold as like a vampire. Like, she was just saying so many things. She was saying things. In fact, this reunion, she has just been using like the F word, bastard, all those kind of things. She has been using like a lot of all those things. But some people are saying that, she was kind of like, this is not how she was in the house. I think she mentioned in the house, let me just like say based on my own opinion, I think in the house there are several times she mentioned that she doesn't like to put herself in a situation where she would now have to have issues with somebody, because first of all, obviously that could get you a strike, and she was trying to like be careful. If it's about being careful, I think she was being very careful in the house, and it's understandable, because these people that will give you strike for doing hand like this or doing so. There are so many reasons why you can decide to be careful. But even in the house, there are several times when there's a time she insulted Nengi, called her different things. That's when I knew that, okay, this babe has a weary side. Do you understand? There's certain times where she showed that her weary side of her. So, but now it's almost like, okay, this is a reunion. Nobody can beat me. Nobody can do anything. So I can just like express myself as much. That's the way I see it. Even though, because we know how to be like calm and playful and everything, it's now looking like there's a lot of overreaction there. And yeah, to a large extent, she's overreacting. But I kind of understand where she's coming from in terms of the fact that Brighto did not even say anything to her. You know, even if I don't think she wanted him to like try to be with her or anything. I think maybe she wanted him to like, maybe talk to me, like, something major happened, and then you just pass like nothing. It will make the person to go back and start thinking that now, I don't know. I think maybe she just wanted a little bit of like just be human, because to be honest, Brighto was not behaving as Brighto was being too cold. So, but then she was reacting like really, really, she was like, just scolding him and everything. And for him, Brighto just felt like there's nothing that he did. That what did she expect him to tell her?
Waking up in the morning, okay? What do you expect me to do? Go to her and say good morning?
But even that statement is like, the way they were reacting, like, just be nice. Maybe just be nice to her. Do you guys? I think that's what she just wanted. She just wanted him to like at least be nice to her, or just don't act like this person does not exist. Do you get? I think that's what she wanted. But she, on her own part too, being who she is, she was trying to still be defensive. It's like she didn't want to admit so much. She admitted that okay, she didn't like the fact that he just passed and acted like nothing. But she also tried to make it seem like she was not even interested in himself. Who are you, self, that I'd be interested in you? That's when Bright was saying that they are just pained. So Wathoni and Dorathy now got angry. I was like, who are you that will be pained about? Wathoni now said, can you even pay my bills? What even brought that one into the equation? I think these housemates were ready for this reunion. They were like, okay, this reunion is where I'm going to spoil everything. Then that's when Brighton said, I cannot pay your bills. But the truth is that you guys are just pained. And I feel like, yeah, they were actually pained at the situation, like, the whole situation that happened. But them too were trying to be defensive. Then Dorathy now brought out money from her breast. It's like, you're crying right now. You know how Dorathy is now. She's being all raz.
In fact, wait. You need to take this for your tears because you're crying.
Then, let's now go back to the second situation where there was a revelation. So, it was not aggressive cuddling that happened between Katrina and Praise. It was more. We knew what happened, but when you just say something, when they say something like, okay, aggressive cuddling, and we're like, okay, fine, we're going to go with it. Me, I actually went with it. I'm like, I don't force things on people. If, from now to tomorrow, if Dorathy did not admit that she did what she did to Brighto, a part of me would have been like, okay, this is just you saying. I believe is a lie. If she said she didn't do it, I would have just believed that she didn't do it. I don't really force things on people. So this time around, when she said aggressive cuddling, I'm like, okay, we saw what we saw. Maybe there was no penetration. Maybe it was just them doing things. But this time around, she now said what happened. That she liked Praise. She liked him. That she had already said it in the house to Biggie and everything, that she liked Praise and everything. So that night, she's the one. This is where they were now dragging who knocked who. She said she's the one that went to carry him to her bed. She now had what she had with him and even left the bed. That he didn't even last 5 seconds. That it was just like very short. Then after everything, she even had to leave the bed. More like she was not impressed. That's what she was saying.
He didn't last 5 seconds. I left him in my bed and I went over to the sitting room to chill.
But I think that's a low blow, to be honest. Like, you did what you did. Yes, you admitted it, yes. But like, I think this whole idea of people using somebody lasting a short while or somebody not, this whole 5 seconds, 10 seconds thing, I think people just using that to insult the guy, to make him feel some kind of way. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, you did what you did. There's no point coming to tell us how it was. You can have your conversation with him, talk about how it was. Concern us. Like, you not come and say, oh, it was not good or it's not good or whatever. Lasted 5 seconds. We all saw it. Obviously, it was more than 5 seconds. So I just think she was trying to throw shades at him. I don't know the issue that they had outside the house that made her to really be angry at him, and then she's coming with this. She also said that even outside the house, as in things happen outside the house in the hotel, he also called her up after when the night before the eviction, the last party that they had, after Ozo left her room, Praise was still in her room, and they knocked again. And I'm like, oh wow. She said that he was not pleased with his performance and he wanted to do more. So that's why he came to the room to like, okay, prove more. But this time around, he lasted 1 second. Hey, Katrina, oh, chim. I don't know. To me, that shy didn't really make sense. I think the only thing I kind of like the fact that Dorathy owned up to what happened. Katrina, yeah, I don't even know if I really, yeah, people owning up to stuff is okay. But in Katrina's case, it still doesn't make sense. As much as she owned up to the situation, it still doesn't make sense that she and Praise had what they had. Praise came into the house. He had a fiance and a child with this fiance. Katrina came into the house. She said she was separated with her husband and everything. So, okay, fine and good. But then you're having something to do with somebody. I think this thing is close to my mouth. I'm going to be shouting. But then you're having something to do with somebody that is engaged. Literally, he went to the house and cheated on his fiance. And they think it's okay. Like, can we go back and address that situation? Can we go back and address the fact that this guy cheated on his fiance and he cheated on his fiance with you? So both of them, I don't even know why that should be cool. Like, that should not even be cool, in my opinion. Although Praise mentioned when he got into the house that more like his fiance gave him a go ahead to do what he wants. He's here to have fun. And based on his history in the past, he said that he has been in a three-way relationship. So I guess maybe that's just what he has been into. That's just how he has been. And maybe that's when Katrina even started like saying that, okay, this guy, I'm going to have something to do with him. So the whole, for me, it doesn't make sense. Then Lucy was also in the equation. Apparently, Lucy liked Praise later on in the show. And then Katrina said she doesn't have any problem with Lucy, that she cannot use because of Praise and have an issue with Lucy. That Lucy is her girl and everything. So she felt like Praise was trying to come in between and use Lucy. So she doesn't have any problem with Lucy. Lucy said that towards the end, Lucy said she didn't even know what happened between Katrina and Praise, that she likes Praise too and everything. So it was not really Ebuka. Ebuka now said that from what he's saying, there was no love triangle there. And like Praise was like, yeah, there was no triangle. But there was an F triangle, meaning that the triangle was more than just love. There were things that happened. It was just like, these are two babes and a guy that just wanted to do things. And then I'm like, Ebuka just came to have fun. It's almost as if the way Ebuka is listening to the gist is the way we're also listening to the gist. Like, oh, keep talking, keep giving us gist. Then they ask Kidwaya that, are you surprised by all these things? He's like, he's surprised though, because he didn't know he didn't know that all these things were happening in his house. He even called it his house. That Kidwaya is not serious. From the beginning of this show till now, Kidwaya has just been catching cruise. He said he didn't know that all these things were ever happening in his house. Like, he's shocked. So many of them were actually shocked by all the things that they heard tonight. Like, So I'm gonna stop here so that we don't make this video too long. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye, love you.